Good morning. Happy Monday, April 5th. It's Adam Peterson with you guys today. We have a great training update for you. Hope you like that little Bruno Mars. My wife introduced me to that this weekend. I'm jamming that. Static Shock, or I don't know what that super group is, but I'm loving it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. But we have some great content for you. We're going to go over some new devices launching in April and some sales skills trainings to make you the absolute very best rep in your store. Let me make sure can you guys hear me okay? Can you see my screen?
Yep, yes, we can see you. Are you about to share your content?
I am.
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. All right, guys. So I will go ahead and get started. So I'm going to jump it off with one of our best kind of device providers out there that we have going on. We have Motorola in the house today. So we have John Hicks on the call from Motorola. John, are you there?
Hey, I'm here. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. So we actually launched the newest Motorola G Stylus last week. I think it was going to launch till mid-April, so I was excited to see it come out for our BR partners. So John is going to take us through some highlights of this device. Are you able to share your screen? I didn't see a deck come through on the email. I don't know if you can share your screen and kind of take over from here.
If you guys can make me a presenter, I can. Right now I'm listed as an attendee, but I think if you click my name and make me a presenter, I can share it.
Oh, there you are. Okay, hold on. Let me Robert, you got any pro tips for me on this and how I can do this? So I'm looking at participants.
You have to right click on their name and then it'll drop down to presenter.
You should be good to go now.
Yep. Looks good. You guys
I love your background, by the way. The Superman and the Pest Adventures, that's awesome.
Hey, thank you. It's a fun room, that's for sure. All right. All right, can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
We got it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for having me on the call. I really appreciate it. We are going to be talking about the new Moto G Stylus today. This officially launches on the 12th, but I know a lot of you guys have inventory in your stores already, which is fantastic. And by all means, you don't have to wait till the 12th to sell this thing. Let's move them out the door as soon as you guys have inventory in the stores. But this is a fantastic phone. I'm really excited to see how it's going to do at Boost. I think we got a lot of potential with this device. Our Stylus device has done really well at other carriers in the past, and I think we've got the right demographic, shopping at Boost that'll really appreciate this phone. So excited to see where we can go with it. So this is a great phone. We're going to go over a lot of the main features on here. If you guys have questions, feel free to shout them out at me or type them in the chat and someone can read it. Like I said, it's a great phone, and I want to make sure you guys are armed with the knowledge that you need to be able to move these things out the door. So, first things first, stylus, right? Moto G Stylus. This does have a stylus. It does load into the bottom of the phone, so you don't lose it, which is great. And there's so many things you can do with the stylus. I mean, obviously taking notes, that's the big one, right? But you can also do creative things like art. You can draw, you can color, you can mark up your calendar or photos. That's something that I like to do. I love to draw on photos. I'll take a screenshot of something, draw a note on it, and then send it to somebody. That's what I usually do with mine. Now, my kids will take it and do the coloring book apps. They love it. But there's so much you can do with the stylus. Even just highlighting text and copying and pasting is so much easier with a stylus than trying to do it with your finger, right? And a finger works. The stylus is so much more precise. So even for people that maybe they don't have that creative bug in them, but they want to be productive and they want to be efficient, using the stylus is going to be fantastic for that too. Now, we do have an app that comes with this phone called Moto Note, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a note-taking app. or you can use the stylus. You can add photos, and what's nice is everything syncs on it. What's really cool about Moto Note too is even if your phone screen is locked and you remove the stylus, it brings up a new note for you to take notes really quickly. You don't have to unlock the phone. You don't have to go launch an app. It just launches that automatically. You can take down some notes and save it really, really easily. And then, of course, once you unlock the phone, you can go into the app, make future edits and stuff like that. Now, Moto Note comes on the device, but the stylus does work with other popular note-taking apps too. I know a lot of people like Evernote. A lot of people like Google Keep. Actually, Google Keep is my favorite. That's what I use. And the stylus works perfectly with those as well. Now, the stylus is just one great thing on this device. This is an incredible phone all around, though. We've got a great camera on here. We all know that the smartphone is the most popular camera in the planet now, right? You know, there's lots of great point-and-shoot cameras out there, and hardly anyone's using them anymore because we've all got great cameras on our phone now. So we have 4 lenses on here. Your main sensor is a 48 megapixel sensor. We've got an ultra wide lens. We've got a macro lens and a depth sensor. So with that 48 megapixel lens, that's going to be incredible. You know, it's a lot higher than you're seeing on most mid-tier smartphones. You're going to be able to take beautiful photos, and it does have quad pixel technology. Now, there's a long, fancy, elaborate definition of what quad pixel technology is. The short and sweet explanation, though, is that it allows more light into the lens, so your photos turn out great no matter what the lighting situation is. Whether you're outdoors, like in the examples here, or whether you're inside a house or inside a cell phone store, or maybe you're at a restaurant with dim lighting, your photos are going to turn out great. Now, with the ultra wide lens, you're going to be able to fit 4 times more in the photo. So you can see with the example here, with the regular shooter and the ultra wide, you know, with the regular shooter on the right, you can see those 2 windows. Now look how much more you can see above and below and to the sides of the windows when you take that same shot using that ultra wide lens. So that's not just great for scenery and landscapes, but maybe you're just in your home and you want to fit more into the photo in your living room. You don't want to have to back up and hit the wall. You can do that really, really easily. Now we've got the macro lens too. This is for people that want to be creative and take the super up close, you know, photos. Macro lens lets you zoom in really close, so you can have the phone within about an inch of whatever your subject is and take crystal clear photos and see all the detail, like in this Kiwi right here. Now the depth sensor on there is designed to help with some of those creative shots, like your portrait mode and some of the other ones, and we'll go over those in a little bit here. So we do have night vision. I know some of our competitors talk a lot about this. Hey, we have it too. And you can see the example with night vision on and off. So when you have night vision off and you're in a very dim environment, like on the left, your picture doesn't turn out great because you don't have a whole lot of light, right? Now, with night vision on, it's going to take that light that it can capture through the lenses and basically extrapolate it and make it so your picture shows up bright, even in dim settings, like on the staircase here. I mentioned portrait mode. So a lot of phones are advertising this. This is something that we have as well. And that depth sensor is really going to help you blur that background perfectly while keeping your subject in focus. A lot of phones will do this via software, you know, and that works. But it's not going to be as good as using 2 lenses to do it via hardware. So that's something that we're doing with this device. We've got that depth sensor on there so you can take the best portrait pictures possible. Another feature that that depth sensor allows you to do is spot color. This is real fun, real creative, and really easy to do. You pick one color to leave alone, and everything else goes to black and white when you take the photo. So obviously in this picture, they picked yellow. The lady's shirt looks like something on her bracelet, and some of those flowers are yellow. Everything else went to black and white. So really, really cool. And this is something that's really simple to demo in stores too. At Boost stores, I recommend leaving orange. There's orange everywhere, right? And then everything else goes to black and white. And it's a really compelling demo that shows off what we can do with our cameras here. Cinemagraph is sort of fun too. Basically, it takes about 70 shots really, really quickly. And then afterwards, you can choose what to freeze and what to animate. So obviously in this picture, You know, they left the glass animated, and this lady is making a mess, blowing bubbles in her chocolate milk here. But it turns out to be a really cool animated GIF or video file that you can share on social media. So I've done it with birthday candles before. My son turned 7 over the weekend, and we had a birthday candle and left the flame flickering with everything else frozen. It looked really, really sweet. Now we got shot optimization too. This is for all the people that are like me that are not great photographers. I'm not a great photographer. I want to point and shoot and let the camera or the phone do the work for me. And with shot optimization is the AI in the phone will recognize different scenes. So right here, it's recognizing that this is food, and it's tweaking all the settings to take the best shot possible. And food is just one of the scenes that it'll recognize. There's several others too. So this really takes the guesswork out of it for you. So if you're not the person that likes to go in there and tweak every little setting yourself, whether you don't like to do that or you don't know how, this is perfect. It's just point, shoot, take the best photo you can. So we do have a great camera on the front too. So many people like to take selfies, whether they want to admit it or not, you know. So we do have a 16 megapixel camera up front, a lot better than those, you know, 5 or 8 megapixel cameras that you see on a lot of phones. All right, that's a lot about the camera. Let's talk about something else now. We've got power in this device, you know. So we've got a great octa-core processor from Qualcomm. It's actually a very energy efficient processor too, so that helps with battery life, and plenty of RAM, 4 gigs of PC grade RAM in here. So this is going to be able to handle just about anything that you're throwing at it. And storage. Who hates selling phones that have 32 gigs of storage, right? I know I hate talking about them, you know, and now we really don't have many that are down like that anymore. This has 128 gigabytes of onboard storage, and it is expandable. This will take a card up to 512 gigs. Now, this is going to be extremely important in a couple months here. You know, starting in June, Google is getting rid of the free unlimited storage with Google Photos. And that's a really big deal, you know, so people are going to need more room on their phones to store their pictures and their videos. And of course, you know, apps are becoming more robust and taking up more storage. So with this, you have 128 gigs built in, which is going to be more than enough for probably 95% of customers that are buying the phone. For that other 5%, hey, guess what? We're going to take care of them. They can put an SD card in there, and it's a great accessory opportunity for the sales reps in the stores, right?
So, John, just to clarify, you're telling me off the shelf with the pricing they have, they get 128 gigs of storage?
Yeah, how badass is that, right? It is
awesome.
It is awesome. 128 gigs right off the shelf. So, yeah, we didn't do anything small with this device. You know, we've got all the features, the great camera, the stylus, huge hard drive in here, and it is expandable for those few people that need even more storage than that. So, yeah, tons of storage on here. Now we've got a beautiful big screen on here too. 6.8-inch Max Vision Full HD Plus display. That's a really long title to say. It's a big, beautiful screen. And this is going to be awesome for your movies, your gaming, you know, looking at your photos or editing your photos, you know, with that stylus. You've got that big display, so it's going to be easy to do for you guys. And of course, Motorola is known for battery life, right? So we've got 2 days of battery life in here. So if you forget to charge overnight, no big deal. You're going to be good the next day. It's a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. It's one of our largest batteries out there. Gives you 2 days of power with average mixed use. I've been using this device, and I find that to be very accurate. You know, I'll use it for a full day. When I go to sleep at night, I got about 60% of my battery left. I mean, what more can you ask for? And it's pretty sweet. You know, we know everybody can use a better battery. That's something that everybody appreciates no matter what you do with the phone, right? Some people might say, well, I don't care about the camera because I don't take pictures, or I might not use the stylus, or I you know, don't care about, you know, how big the screen is because all I do is read emails. You know, everybody can benefit from a longer lasting battery no matter what you're doing with the phone. And we've got great gestures built in here. If you've seen some of our other devices, you're probably familiar with some of these. You can twist to launch the camera really quickly and easily. This is awesome for people with kids and pets that need to take those pictures quickly before your kid turns into a tornado and runs off and, you know, tears apart the house. You can chop twice with your hand, like a karate chop motion, to turn on a flashlight. And 3 fingers down on the screen will activate a screenshot, and then a screenshot editor pops up. So if you need to crop or draw on your screenshot with the stylus, you can do that right away. There's many more gestures too. I know we're limited on time, so I'm not going to talk about all of them, but these are all in the Moto app that comes on the phone, and they can all be turned on and off too. So if for any reason you or your customer don't like one of these gestures, by all means, turn it off. But I think you're really going to like them. I think your customers are going to like them. And these are really compelling demos inside the stores too. So we do have something called peek display too. So even if the phone is locked, you can see your notifications on the lock screen, and you can actually interact with them. So you can archive a Gmail or reply to a text without firing up the whole screen and without having to unlock the phone. Really cool feature. And then more and more people are getting into mobile gaming now. So we've got an app built in called Moto Game Time, which lets the user limit the notifications that come in and interrupt their gameplay. You know, we all hate it if you're doing a racing game and a phone call comes in and it makes you crash or spin out, right? Or if you're playing a first-person shooter and you got that text that came in, and while you were trying to dismiss it right away, you know, someone got you. You know, so with this, you can personalize which apps you want to notify you and which ones you don't, or you can turn off all notifications while you're playing games. Really cool feature. And we all know that phones are a very personal and intimate part of our lives. You know, we've always got our phone on us, you know, whether we're at work or at play, our phone's with us. And so we want people to be able to personalize it. So with My UX, the customer is able to personalize the color of the menus, the font size, even the icon shapes really, really easily to really make the phone unique to them. And we do have a fingerprint reader on this device, and it is on the side built into the power button. I know it's a little bit different location than you may see on some other phones. I actually really dig it though. So I use a lot of phones. That's my job. And I've got phones with fingerprint reader on the side like this. I've got them on the back. I've got a couple phones that have it on the front. And I like to tell you, having the fingerprint reader on the side is perfect. That's my favorite spot because it's right where my thumb rests when I'm holding my phone in my right hand. If I'm holding my phone in my left hand, my index finger will rest right on that power button, and I can unlock the phone really, really easily. So I really don't have to move any fingers, you know, at all into any weird motion to unlock the device. So again, let's highlight the reasons why this is going to be an awesome phone for your customers. We've got the stylus for taking notes, editing photos, copying and text and pasting really easily. You've got that awesome 48 megapixel quad camera on here. Incredible performance with that octa-core processor from Qualcomm, lots of RAM. Huge hard drive, right? 128 gigs of storage. Who needs more than that, right? So incredible hard drive. And remember, that Google Photos thing, that's a big deal. You know, right now, Google backs up all your photos for free. It's sweet. As a consumer, I love that. And I'm sort of annoyed that it's going away in June. Now, as the guy that's selling phones, hey, I can spin this. You know, because of that, you're going to need more storage on your phones, right? So your customers that are getting the unlimited storage from Google right now for their photos, that's going away. They're going to need more storage on their devices. That's why they're going to need this Moto G stylus with that 128 gig hard drive. Now we've got that big, beautiful screen too. Remember, 6.8 inches. It's huge. Great for doing your edits of your photos or taking notes, watching your movies, your gaming, whatever you want to do with this phone. It's going to be beautiful. And then you've got 2 days of battery life. You know, that is more battery life than you get out of most smartphones from any manufacturers that are out there. 2 full days, no problem at all. I'm not going to read all these specs to you guys. If anyone wants a copy of this deck, feel free to let me know. I'll be more than happy to email it to you. And I wanted to remind you guys about Moto Insiders. If you're not on Moto Insiders already, make sure you go to motoinsiders.com or download our Android app from the Google Play Store. It's totally free. You get education on all the products that we talked about. Whenever we've got launches, there's usually contests on there where you can earn rewards. And every little thing you do on Moto Insiders gives you points, which you can turn in for prizes, like Motorola phones, Motorola headsets, Monster energy drinks, backpacks, you know, all sorts of swag with the Motorola logo. We got lots of great prizes on there. I saw them throw up an Xbox on there before. So you save your points for a long time, you can buy an Xbox, you know. And the prizes change on there weekly. So if you don't see anything you like, wait a few days, log in again, and I'll bet you will. So it's a great way to stay up to date with everything Motorola. I've got my contact information on the screen here, as well as my counterparts across the country. Again, my name is John Hicks. I've got that big teal territory right there. I think a lot of you guys fall into my territory. If you don't, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Or again, you can feel free to take a screenshot of this, or I'd be more than happy to send out this presentation later to anyone that wants it. I've got my coworkers on here too. So,
John, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
oh, you're welcome. Yeah, again, I've got my contact information on the screen a little bit bigger there. Feel free to email me or call me anytime. My job is to help you guys be successful. That's what I want to do. So I really appreciate you guys having me on the call. If you guys have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
And that phone, guys, $49.99 with a port.
Yes. How sweet is that?
It's unbelievable.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. Awesome deal on that phone.
All right. Let me pull back up my deck here. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, Adam, we can see it.
All right. So again, thanks to John so much for that awesome update for Motorola. Motorola is doing their own webinars, which will go even more in depth. You'll kind of get the information that we heard today. So if you have any other reps at your stores that weren't able to hop on, there's going to be webinars Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at both 11 and 2 p.m. on Tuesday, noon and 3 on Wednesday, 1 and 4 on Thursday. The link's in here if you want a copy of the deck that we're presenting. We can send this to you. John's slides are kind of separate, but this does have the link in here to register for that exclusive Motorola webinar where the whole thing will just be dedicated to these Motorola phones. And another shout out to Motorola for hosting that DCI contest, which ended at the end of March. If you sold any phones in the month of March, I think actually started February 26th, but all through March, you didn't register them, reach out to your DCI account manager for the link. Today is the last day to register, and we still have that drawing for that 55-inch 4K TV that will go down this week for any Motorola sales you guys have had in the last month. So get those in today. Motorola is a great partner, and as we're going to talk about in a second, LG is not going to be making any more smartphones. So guess what? What a great time for Motorola to bring some bangers like this Moto G stylus at $49.99 for a port, giant screen, tons of memory with stylus. With LG hopping out of the game, you know, Stylo 6 is the last one that had that stylus in there. It's not going to be a Stylo 7. That's a smartphone. Moto's got it. So get on board, guys. You guys are going to sell tons of these. So let's make sure we crank them out. Now, the other new device that's going to be launching this month is the Samsung A51 5G. This should be launching mid-April for you guys. So another awesome phone. You know, love Motorola, love LG. It hurts that they're getting out of that smartphone business to me because I love LG as well. But LG's getting out of the smartphone game. Motorola is in it to win it, and Samsung definitely been a great partner for us for a long time. Samsung continues on their path as well with the Samsung Galaxy A51. It'll be a 5G phone with pro-grade pictures, tons of power, tons of battery. It's going to have a 6.5-inch display, 4,500 milliamp battery. The front camera is a 32-megapixel selfie camera. The main camera is a 48-megapixel main camera on there. The back of this one also has 4 cameras, 12-megapixel ultra-wide, 5-megapixel macro for your up-close shots, and that 5-megapixel depth camera. Also 128 gigs of storage. So, and that one's expandable up to 1,000 gigabytes. So, 2 great phones launched in April that are really like kind of game changers. I mean, the Motorola and Samsung, these are both amazing phones. And for the price point, customers are getting these at. Like, if you go to the postpaid world, you know, a year ago, these kind of specs that Motorola and Samsung are giving you, these are $1,500 phones. And you're getting these for, you know, $50 for the Motorola. The Samsung price is to be determined, should be around $100, but still great price points for both of these devices. All right, now when we talk about inventory, so those Moto G stylus, that's $49.99 on a port. $140.99 new and upgrade. Dealer cost is only $179.99. So even that cost to stock your inventory is very affordable. You guys can get tons of those. So I'm going to make sure you guys have the inventory updates for this week. This has been sent to all your doors. That Moto G stylus does have a limit of 10. That is a per day limit, not weekly. So you get 10 Moto G stylus per day. Again, that's for branded doors only. So multi-carrier is not available yet. We're probably about 2 weeks away for those opening up for our multi-carrier locations. It kind of depends on the inventory that we can get at DCI to ship out to you guys. But right now, we do have them available for our branded doors, limit 10 per day. Samsung is not on here yet because obviously that one's not launching until mid-April. Other than that, we're pretty much business as usual for all of our devices as we continue through tax season. I have in here your quarter two minimum inventory requirements. For time's sake, so I'll skip over this slide. We'll talk about this with you on our calls down to your dealership, and we're with you at your door level. But keep in mind, if you're a branded dealer or a preferred branded dealer, there are minimum inventory requirements you guys have to carry every single day. Again, the device pricing is on here starting $416. I'll skip over that because I'll hit that more on next week. Now let's get into the second half of this call. The bringing you being the best rep in your store. How do you elevate your game and make the most money possible being that leader? So being the best starts with your guys' everyday approach. You guys, I kind of drill this in week after week. You are not clerks. You are solutions consultants. Being in wireless is a career. I started myself in wireless, frontline sales rep, just like any new hire, right? I started, 18, 19 years old, frontline sales rep, crushed it there, went to manager, crushed it there, went to regional manager, then went to the corporate side. Was an internal sales support rep, then an account executive, then a sales manager managing a large territory. So like wireless is a career. If you guys know wireless and you do a great job in your sales, you're always going to have a job there. So you want to make sure you make this a career for you. It's not a part-time job. You're not at a gas station. You're not checking out groceries. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying this is a career. So when you get in there, take pride in what you do every single day. When you go in the store, you want to dress for success, right? If you look good, you're going to feel good. If you feel good, you're going to sell good. And if you sell good, you will get paid good. So it's an everyday approach. It's a mentality you guys need to be taking into your job every single day. Whatever drama, and we all have drama in our personal lives, whatever drama you guys have going on, leave it at the door. When you walk in, you are that consummate professional that's going to give the best experience to your customers and make them want to come back to your store again and again. You're going to get repeat business. People are going to love interacting with you. They're going to like seeing you to come pay their bills each month. You're going to separate yourself from a random face to, oh, this is my boost rep. I talk to them every single month. So you want to take pride in what you're doing. Whatever you have going on personally, leave it at home and dress for success. Look good, look the part. Make sure you're hitting the dress code and you are being that true consummate professional. As a true consummate professional, you guys need to know your priorities. So we do have a new April priorities, which just came out off the presses about 30 minutes ago. So what are we focusing on this month? Number one, family plans and add-a-lines. So I want to make sure specifically the 3-line deal. So that's 3 for $110. That's a $50 plan plus a $30 add-a-line for line 2, $30 add-a-line for line 3. Family plans are going to help increase your customer lifetime value. Now, why is that important? Well, your store makes money based on your customers' longevity, right? So not only the payments every month, but month 1, 2, 3, and then month 6 is very important. Also, in order to get these phones at such great prices, our customers have to stay with us for a long time. The stat I heard is it takes about 10 months for Dish or Boost to be profitable on a sale. Based on, Dish pays that full amount for a handset. Let's just make the math easy. Say it's $200 for a handset. They're giving it away for free. All right. Now the customer, they have to pay you guys as a dealership. The dealership has to pay their employees. They have to pay a field team. They have to pay the further advertising. So if that customer doesn't stay with us for over 10 months, it's not really a profitable transaction. So that customer lifetime value is super important. That's why we want to make sure that we're selling devices customers invest in. and we're getting the most out of every transaction to keep them with us long term, which also goes to the next priority, VAS, value added services. We talked about that the last couple months. It's going to be part of your vernacular moving forward. VAS and BYOD, so that's your value added services and bringing your own device. So Boost Shield should be put on every single customer's phone. If you're not bundling that and put it on, just do the assumption close. Let's say a one-line deal, for example. $57 unlimited talk, text, data plus protection on your phone. It's a miss, right? And how I just pitched that, $57 only talk, text, data plus protection, that works. You're going to see a really high attach rate, way above the goal we're setting of 40% for value-added services. If you pitch that way each and every day, and you want to be that killer in your store where you're on the top of every measurable. If you're not doing that and you're selling a customer and you get to that screen where you click on your little add-ons, do you need international calling? No. Do you want to pay for insurance? No. Okay. Next, that's a huge miss. Use the assumption close, bundle it in, let your customer tell you no. If they tell you no, you don't stop there. You overcome that objective. Well, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? I strongly recommend you have protection on your device. And see how I always call it protection and not insurance? People like to have their phone protected but don't like to pay for insurance. You know what, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, wants you to have protection on your device, at least until you're eligible to upgrade. So after 6 months, we can take it off. You'll be good to go because you're eligible for an upgrade. But until then, you'd have to pay the outright price for your phone. You don't get that promotional price you get today in the store. So let's just at least have you protected now. You can always take it off on the line, but you can't add it down the line. So I want you to leave my store with your device protected. Does that sound good to you? If you overcome your objective with that talk track, you're going to get majority yeses. If they say no, okay, no problem. You've tried, you've given the pitch, you've tried to overcome their objection, you can still take it off. But that's going to be so much more effective than you trying to add $7 for insurance at the end of your sale. All right? The third priority is going to be on platinum selling, which is focusing on higher end devices. We're actually going to do a whole training on platinum selling coming up because it's always been on the scorecard, but we haven't talked about this in a couple of years, to be honest. But platinum selling, so you guys are aware, is going to be the third focus for April priorities. All right, now, next, you want to be that beast in your store. You want to be that elite sales rep. Be the first person to greet every customer walking in your door. If you want to maximize every sales opportunity and become as profitable as possible, be that one who's at your door. A perfect example I can give you of this is I just bought a new car recently. I went to the car dealership. There was one rep standing outside the door just waiting for someone to come in. I go, that guy's hungry. That's who I want to talk to. And man, was he awesome. Everyone else was inside sitting. It was cold. This was, I think, in December. It was cold. This guy just outside his door waiting for someone to come in. And the service he gave me was so exquisite. You know, he gave me recommendations on things I wasn't even thinking about. And it's like, hey, I got this perfect car from you. It just came in. It's not even cleaned yet. It's not detailed. So it doesn't look nice. But from what you need, I think you're going to love this car. And guess what? That's the car I ended up buying. Like, I love it. I'm so happy with it. But being that first person to make that impression and standing out is big when you come to sales. If you got a 3-person door, 2-person store, you're all sitting there waiting, this is where you make your money. If you guys make commission, be aggressive. There's nothing wrong with being aggressive. Be that first person to greet your customers. As soon as they walk in the door, even going back to my sales rep days, I would be out in front of my counter. Hey, welcome to Boost. My name's Adam. Are you here for our promotions? I would greet them right away, trying to get that sale. Also, obviously, you guys need to make sure you know your offers. Get these down, get them memorized. You need to be a guru in 2 things. So guru or an expert, right? In our offers and in our prices. When I talk about prices, I'm not just talking about rate plan prices or phone prices. I'm talking about bundling. You need to be able to give that bundle right out your head. Your out the door prices, blah, 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 depending on the situation. If you guys can do that, you are going to be such a success. You bundle in your rate plan. You bundle in add-a-lines if needed. You bundle in your protection. You bundle in accessories if you want. If you want to go the extra mile, bundle in your accessories. For $200, you're going to have 2 lines. Your setup fees will be taken care of. Unlimited talk, text, data, plus protection, 2 screensavers, and 2 cases on your phone. If you can get your selling pitch down to that level, you are going to get so much business. Now, obviously, our major plans are the 50 and 60, and then our $30 add-a-lines. $30 add-a-lines can be added to the 50 and the 60. Some people think the 60 can only have a $40 add-a-line. Not the case. You can actually still do a $30 add-a-line on a $60 plan. A lot of other plans out there are basically to keep customers walking out of your door. So those 10, 15, 25, those are BYOD only plans, right? And that's great if a customer has a phone they want to bring into you. They can't afford anything higher. Well, you don't have to go to a daily plan, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. We can actually get you on a plan, keep your old phone for as low as $10 per month. So those options are there to make sure a customer never walks. This is nothing I would lead with as my pitch because I want to lead with our money-making plans. But to have these extra tools in your toolkit is a game changer because we never had these, before the last few months. And this is something that like Straight Talk and TracFone have, those Walmart brand plans. Well, now you can compete with those. Now we can play not only in the space of TracFone and Straight Talk, we can also play in the spaces of Metro, Cricket, and our postpaid carriers. Again, I talked a little bit about my greeting. Hey, welcome to Boost. My name's Adam. Are you here for promotions? Now, why is that my greeting? Well, 3 reasons. Number 1, everyone loves a promotion. You're gonna they're gonna say, oh yes, you got a $49.99 iPhone SE, or you got a $49.99 Motorola Stylus G. Whatever the promotion is. Now, if there's not a promotion, they say, oh, everyone likes a deal, right? Oh, what promotions do you guys have going on? So now I have an open-ended invitation to give them my complete pitch. Scenario number 3, no, should pay my bill. Guess what? You can pivot that bill payment customer into a buying opportunity with that greeting. Are you here for our promos? No, I'm just here to pay my bill. That's great. We actually have promotions for our bill payment customers as well. We have great add-a-lines. I can get you a phone that's normally $200 for as low as $25. Is there anyone in your family who might need an add-a-line of service? So now I'm making the most of every single customer walking out my door. I'm giving a sales pitch to every single customer walking in and doing the best that I can. Again, that iPhone SEs, I'll go over a couple of our promotions, is only $49.99 with the port-in. That must be on a $60 plan. Very important to remember, either on a $60 plan or on a power bundle plan. That's where you pay the 6 months up front. You get everything that's normally on a $50 plan, but it's only $40 per month. So they pay $240 for the plan up front. And then if you bundle with protection, keep in mind you need to bundle 6 months of protection in as well. So you'd have to include that in that cost. We also have the renewed iPhone 8s, which are also $49.99 with port currently. Those have been selling very well for us. So 2 great iPhone options for only $49.99. The power bundle, again, we do have extended out. I'm going to talk about value-added services. I know I'm a little bit long here. Oh, one other key point. You can add handset insurance to BYOD phones. This was started mid-February, but if you do a BYOD, you can now add protection. So no excuses not to be above 40% on your guys' value-added service take rate or your protection take rate. I know a lot of you don't have as much international traffic, which would help value-added services, but if not, you should be able to make up for it with bundling protection on your phone, and you can now put protection on BYOD handsets. Last thing I want to talk about, if you want to be a beast in your store, crush Smile and Dial. Now, the goal I usually say on calls is for 10 calls per day. On this call, we're talking about you want to be elite. You want to be elite, make your 20 calls per day. Disposition them correctly. If you're reaching out to those customers, you're trying to drive in 20 people in your store every day while you're slow, you will see that traffic rise. So if the bar is 10, raise that bar. Make your bar 20. Show them the value you're bringing to your store. Give the customers you're calling your name. When they come in, they make sure they talk to you. So you're going to get those sales. But own that mile, own your Smile and Dial, and get those dividends for making those calls. There's no reasons not to make those calls, especially on a slow day. If I'm an owner of a store and my store sold maybe 1 or 2 phones in a day, and I don't see 20 Smile and Dial calls, what are you doing all day? Like, you're not there to be on your phone, right? One of the best practices I heard from a door that does over 300 new consistently, and they do over 300 calls consistently. How do you make that many calls when you're this busy? It's as simple as We don't let our employees be on their phones more than 5 minutes a day for personal reasons. You're there to work. You're there to make a living. You're not there to play on your phone, right? You guys, if you want to be a leader, set the example for everyone else on how to work and make it business as usual in your store. Lastly, just want to talk about employee appearance. Talk about look good, feel good, get paid good. Make sure your employee appearance is up to par every day. You must be wearing your Boost branded shirt or name tag. If you need a shirt, let us know. We have a lot of shirts at DCI. We're happy to help you guys out. Make sure that you guys are looking professional. There are no corporate Boost stores, right? So our locally owned stores are like our corporate stores. You are the face to our public. So the pride in your appearance, the pride in your store, making sure you're merchandised correctly, you guys look correctly is also very important to sales. All right. That's all I got for this week. Do we have any questions? All right, if there's no questions, I want to thank you guys so much for hopping on. I appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great week of selling. Thank you.